Hello, I'm Hope Logan. I'm an actor on Bold and the Beautiful, and many people really love both me and our Bold and the Beautiful drama. So I've come here to share updates about my beloved Bold and the Beautiful. Everyone, please subscribe and support me. If you do, I will keep coming every day with new updates for you. It was supposed to be another ordinary week inside the glamorous world of fashion. But instead, the next 2 weeks on The Bold and the Beautiful erupt into an emotional storm where betrayals deepen, loyalties are tested, and old rivalries explode into dangerous new territory. At the center of it all stands Ridge Forrester, whose patience finally reaches its breaking point after another violent assault leaves his son, R.J. Forrester, injured once again. At the same time, Steffy Forrester finds herself consumed by anger from every direction. She is still reeling from Hope Logan's latest betrayal and Brooke Logan's shocking actions, while another painful reality continues to haunt her: the biological connection between her husband, Finn, and Sheila Carter. Every relationship seems to be balancing on the edge of collapse as family feuds spread through the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer dynasties. Meanwhile, questions surrounding Hope's mysterious collapse, Elektra's impossible ultimatum, Katie Logan's growing concern for her son, and Sheila's relentless pursuit of redemption promise to make every day more explosive than the last. The drama ignites on Monday, July 6th, with Elektra refusing to let the Logan scandal fade into the background. Still furious over everything that has unfolded, she corners Will Spencer and unleashes every ounce of her frustration. In her eyes, Will played a direct role in creating this entire scandal, and she demands to know how he could possibly have allowed things to spiral this far. The confrontation quickly reaches its breaking point as Elektra announces that she is leaving him behind. Will desperately tries to stop her from walking away, hoping reason can calm her anger before it is too late, but fate has other plans. Before he can change her mind, R.J. Forrester suddenly appears and bluntly tells Will to stop chasing after Elektra and simply let her leave, dismissing Elektra as a bossy little Nepo baby. The tension becomes unbearable within seconds, and before anyone has the chance to cool tempers, Will lashes out once again. His fist connects with RJ even harder than before, leaving the young Forrester reeling from another brutal blow. This time the impact is serious enough that Elektra immediately rushes him to the hospital, fearful that the consequences could be far worse than anyone expected. Elsewhere, another crisis is unfolding inside the Forrester showroom. Liam Spencer walks into a shocking scene after Hope Logan suddenly collapses following an emotionally devastating confrontation with Brooke Logan. Brooke had been consumed by fury, exploding in anger before storming out after her destructive outburst that even included throwing objects during her emotional meltdown. The emotional damage left behind appears to overwhelm Hope completely, and she crumbles under the weight of everything that has happened. Whether she has suffered a panic attack or something even more serious remains unclear, but there is growing speculation that something entirely different could be responsible. The possibility of a pregnancy begins to linger in the background, offering a hopeful explanation amid all the heartbreak. Meanwhile, Steffy is already simmering with frustration back at the office, and once Brooke reports everything that happened, Steffy's anger is almost certain to intensify as another chapter in this family war unfolds. Tuesday, July 7th, shifts the focus toward the emotional fallout left behind after the violence. Katie Logan visits Will at his beach house, where the young Spencer is left wrestling with heartbreak after Elektra walked away from him alongside RJ. Will feels deeply betrayed, not only by the collapse of his relationship, but also because Bill Spencer placed him in an impossible position by expecting him to keep dangerous family secrets from Elektra. Katie attempts to comfort her son while helping him understand that Elektra crossed a line herself by demanding confidential information that never should have been shared. Across town, Ridge arrives at the Logan estate and finds RJ resting on the couch while Elektra gently presses an ice pack against his injured head. The sight alone fills Ridge with worry, and his concern quickly turns into outrage. Although RJ insists that he will recover, Ridge refuses to accept that everything is fine, reminding everyone that the assault could easily have ended with a concussion, or even worse injuries. Electra explains that Finn examined RJ at the hospital and confirmed that he would recover. But Ridge cannot ignore the larger question haunting the room. He demands to know how everything reached this point, and when RJ quietly explains that Will simply lost his temper, Ridge bitterly remarks that Will seems to answer every problem with his fists. Yet even in the middle of his outrage, uncomfortable questions linger beneath the surface. Perhaps Ridge should be asking why RJ showed up at Will's home in the first place, instead of focusing only on Will's reaction. Electra gently suggests that Ridge speak directly with Will before making assumptions, but RJ refuses to let his father fight his battles for him. Ridge, however, cannot simply stand by while the violence escalates, believing they must intervene before someone gets seriously hurt. His concern soon transforms into a difficult ultimatum directed at Electra herself. Ridge may force her to choose between continuing her relationship with Will and keeping her place at Forrester Creations, convinced that personal relationships have become dangerously intertwined with company business. Inside the Forrester world, professional and personal boundaries have always blurred together, and Ridge appears determined to draw a firm line before even greater damage is done. At the same time, Finn remains by Steffy's side as her strongest source of support while she struggles through wave after wave of betrayal. Hope's actions have reopened painful wounds, and hearing that Will attacked RJ yet again only fuels Steffy's growing frustration. She pours out every bit of her anger to Finn, speaking not only about her stepsister's latest betrayal, but about the long pattern of choices that led them here. Finn naturally stands beside his wife, offering reassurance and understanding, while acknowledging the emotional burden she continues to carry. Yet Steffy's complicated history with Hope cannot simply be reduced to one-sided blame. Hope pursued Finn despite knowing exactly what was at stake, even kissing him before later joining Carter Walton in an attempted corporate coup after Steffy fired her because of the Finn situation. Most recently, Hope even tried convincing Brooke to steal Steffy's position as co-CEO of Forrester Creations, making it painfully clear that resentment between the two women has reached unprecedented levels. Both sides carry deep scars, and both believe their anger is fully justified. By Wednesday, July 8th, Ridge turns his attention back to Electra, determined to influence her feelings before she makes another mistake. In Ridge's eyes, Will Spencer is following the exact same destructive path as his father, Bill Spencer, becoming another reckless hothead willing to use deception and violence whenever life does not go his way. After witnessing Will attack RJ twice, Ridge urges Electra to think carefully about where her true loyalties belong before she allows herself to become trapped in another toxic relationship. But while Ridge attempts to protect his family, another complicated relationship begins taking center stage elsewhere. Sheila Carter arrives at Deacon Sharp's home with a clear objective in mind. She wants Taylor Hayes to approach Steffy and plead her case, hoping Taylor can somehow convince Steffy to allow Sheila back into Finn's life and, by extension, back into the family she has spent years trying to reclaim. Taylor immediately recognizes how impossible such a request truly is, knowing better than anyone how much pain Sheila has inflicted over the years. Even so, circumstances begin shifting after Sheila offers Deacon an important concession, creating just enough room for Taylor to consider carrying Sheila's request to Steffy, despite all the risks involved. Thursday, July 9th, marks the official end of Sheila and Deacon's marriage, closing another painful chapter in both of their lives. Sheila appears willing to sign the divorce papers, but only if Taylor sincerely agrees to advocate on her behalf with Steffy. Taylor seems prepared to make at least an honest attempt, even while knowing the odds of success are almost non-existent. At the hospital, Finn is caught completely off guard by an unexpected visitor, and all signs point towards Sheila showing up in hopes of seeing her biological son. Everyone can only hope she limits her appearance to the hospital, rather than following Finn home to Malibu, though Sheila has never been known for respecting boundaries. Meanwhile, Taylor visits the CEO office at Forrester Creations and cautiously presents Sheila's request to Steffy. The conversation goes exactly as expected. Steffy refuses to even consider welcoming Sheila back into their lives after everything she has endured. Sheila once tried to kill both Steffy and Finn, and her countless lies helped her dangerously unstable granddaughter, Luna Nozawa, remain free on 2 separate occasions before her eventual death. From Steffy's perspective, there is simply no reason to forgive someone whose actions nearly destroyed everything she loves. The emotional temperature rises even higher on Friday, July 10th, when Ridge marches directly into the Logan and Spencer offices prepared for confrontation. Bill Spencer wastes no time flaunting his confidence, smugly boasting that a new royal family now rules Los Angeles fashion. Ridge is in no mood for arrogance. Between Hope's betrayal, Brooke's heartbreak, and Will's second assault on RJ, Ridge sees Bill as the source of nearly every recent disaster. Their confrontation quickly becomes intensely personal, with Ridge condemning both Bill and the example he has set for his son. Rather than showing remorse, Bill appears almost proud of Will's violent behavior, brushing off the assault as though it were nothing more than another display of Spencer toughness. As insults fly back and forth, Bill eventually jabs his finger directly into Ridge's face, bringing the 2 powerful patriarchs dangerously close to a physical fight of their own. Elsewhere, Taylor quietly wrestles with an unsettling question. Has Sheila genuinely changed? Or is this simply another calm before an inevitable storm? The fear that Sheila could once again become violent if Steffy refuses her request weighs heavily on everyone caught between these 2 determined women. In the middle of it all, Finn makes an unwavering promise to Steffy that no matter what happens with Sheila, his wife will always remain his first priority. As the week of July 13th through July 17th begins, an entirely new chapter starts taking shape beyond Los Angeles. Ridge, Steffy, and Finn prepare for an important trip to Monaco, though the exact timing of their departure has yet to be revealed. What no one expects is that Sheila intends to follow them, setting the stage for one of the most life-changing confrontations the family has ever experienced. Somewhere amid the breathtaking backdrop of Monaco, Sheila and Steffy will face one another in a conflict that promises to alter everything. Astonishingly, early hints suggest Sheila may finally prove herself in a way nobody imagined, perhaps even risking everything to save Finn, Steffy, or possibly both of them. Whatever unfolds overseas appears destined to reshape relationships that have been fractured for years, and viewers should soon learn exactly why this journey to Monaco becomes such a pivotal turning point. Back in Los Angeles, the fallout from the Will and Elektra saga continues to ripple through everyone's lives. With Elektra drifting further away from Will, another familiar face unexpectedly returns to his orbit. Dylan once again emerges as a possible romantic interest after Crew Morrow shared a social media photo with actress Sydney Bullock, teasing fans about the possibility of seeing Will and Dylan together again. The timing is hardly surprising because RJ seems determined to keep Elektra from ever reconciling with Will. Ironically, RJ's own interest in Dylan could disappear almost instantly if he believes Elektra might actually choose him instead. Romantic triangles begin shifting almost overnight, ensuring that emotions remain every bit as volatile as the family rivalries surrounding them. Meanwhile, the battle lines continue hardening across every major family. Ridge and Bill now stand on opposite sides of an all-out war, while Brooke and Katie find themselves pulled into the conflict as well. Hope must somehow navigate the aftermath of her shocking collapse, while also figuring out what lies ahead for both her future and her work alongside Deacon Sharp at Logan. Questions surrounding her mysterious medical episode remain unanswered, and many continue hoping that the surprise awaiting Hope is the joyful news of a pregnancy rather than another devastating health crisis. As Liam and Hope settle into life inside the Spencer mansion with young Beth Spencer, Katie and Bill welcome them warmly into the household, even while Brooke continues burning with unresolved anger over everything that has happened. Elsewhere, Carter Walton and Daphne Rose soon face what appears to be one of the most heartbreaking challenges of their relationship, with signs pointing toward possible infertility struggles that could test the strength of their future together. At the same time, Taylor and Deacon embrace the hope of a fresh beginning now that his marriage to Sheila has officially ended. Free from the turmoil that dominated so much of their lives, the two begin looking toward a future that could even include an engagement, opening the door to one of the few genuinely hopeful storylines amid the surrounding chaos. Even so, peace remains elusive elsewhere. Brooke, Ridge, and Steffy quietly begin strategizing about how to respond to what they now see as the growing Logan threat. Ridge may finally reconsider his controversial decisions to postpone Eric Forrester's couture launch while pushing the jewelry line instead, choices many believe have placed the company's future at risk. And as guilt continues to weigh heavily on her heart, Donna Logan desperately seeks forgiveness from both Eric and Brooke, hoping fractured family bonds can somehow be repaired before even more damage is done. As these explosive 2 weeks unfold, every decision carries enormous consequences. Families are pushed closer to the edge than ever before. Romances are shaken by betrayal and uncertainty, and old enemies prepare for confrontations that could change lives forever. Whether it is Ridge's fury over RJ's repeated assault, Steffi's refusal to forgive Sheila, Hope's uncertain future after her collapse, or the unforgettable journey waiting in Monaco, each storyline builds toward emotional turning points that promise to leave lasting scars. In a world where love and loyalty are constantly tested, the coming days prove that no secret stays buried forever, no betrayal goes unanswered, and no family emerges unchanged.